Triple E EDC back again with another knife video. This is the Spyderco Tenacious, and I'm going to tell you why this is no longer a good buy in today's market. So this has been the entry level, to Spyderco for quite a bit. I'm not going to do a full review here because it's been reviewed to death, but this has been the entry level sort of round hole, Spidey hole knife for a lot of people for years. And I'm going to tell you this is no longer a knife that you should go with as sort of an entry-level knife. It still is sort of entry-level to Spyderco, but I'm going to tell you that I would advise not getting this and getting something else from Spyderco instead, and I'll get into that later. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple quick size comparisons, the CJRB Rhea and the CJRB Centros, and then we'll also do the Civivi Ortis, a couple of budget options. So let's talk about, the one saving grace of this is, as far as materials go, is it does have full stainless steel construction that are weight relieved, as you can see in there, and is G10 construction. So that right there is good. But what isn't good is a couple of things here. The blade. So the blade has a couple of things I don't like about it. One is HCR13 MOV steel. In today's market, it's not really good anymore. The vast majority of companies, especially companies getting manufactured out of China, Civivi's moved on to 9CR 18 MOV and D2. A lot of other companies have moved on to D2. 9CR 18 MOV is very well pretty superior to 8CR 13 MOV. So I think that's been shown by a lot of the people doing cut testing on YouTube. So if you're still using 8CR 13 MOV in this day and age, on on a knife in the $50 price range, because this thing ranges usually around I think this one's $47, and it ranges up to about $55 or so, $60 for a Tenacious. Every once in a while they go on sale, and I know for a little bit they were $12 at Walmart, and everyone just sort of bought them up. But frankly, other than the $12 sale from Walmart, any of the other price ranges I'm talking about are really not worth it. And so we're going to talk about that 8CR13 MOV is a problem. The blade itself this is not a scratch resistant coating or anything like that. This is paint on here. So the blade will get messed up pretty easily on here. Now there are satin versions of this, so it's not a big deal, but if you're getting a coated version, just be aware that it is paint, and it is not a coating that's not going to wear away. One of the other things that I don't like about this is the Teflon washers in here. They don't give a good action at all. I mean, if you're used to Spyderco's being able to drop shut, this is not one that's going to do that, as you see here. In addition, you can hear squeaking. So that squeaking is in the pivot, and it's because of the Teflon washers. The clip on here is terrible. It leaves way too much of the knife sticking out. The lanyard hole's right in the middle. I hate this clip. I can't believe with Spyderco's CQI that they do their constant quality improvement. They haven't improved on this design by moving the clip up and getting rid of that lanyard hole. I think they should have done that years ago. It does have a four-way clip positioning here, so that is one saving grace, but for the most part, the clips are not good on here. The ergonomics on here, a lot of people like the ergonomics on here. I do not. I do not like the ergonomics on here for a couple reasons. One is, no choil here, but that's really not the big issue. The big issue is I don't find this thumb ramp comfortable. I do find the thumb ramp comfortable on the Para 3, and I do find it comfortable on the Paramilitary 2. I do not find it comfortable on the Tenacious. Also, a Spyderco liner lock, while not terrible, is not something I necessarily prefer. So that's another concern as well. And just overall, I don't find the cutting action with this thumb ramp to be comfortable on my hand. I sort of feel something up here. The way I naturally want to hold this, I feel sort of tension up in my arm right there when I start to cut. I don't like that, and I shouldn't feel that way. If I had to rate the ergonomics on this, honestly, it'd probably be about a 5 if I'm trying to be fair to them. But you know, if for prolonged cutting, you start to feel a little bit in the arm. I don't feel that on pretty much any other knife. Now, as far as price goes, this is cheaper, and you can get these scales. Actually, you can get these scales for the same price as, I'm talking about the scales in the whole knife, for the same price as this. This is D2, and it's micarta, which is contour micarta. This is contour micarta and RMP9, which is, I believe, a similar steel also to D2. I think that's what they said it was. It's like powder form D2, something like that. So that, you know, those are options. The normal price on this is $35. It's like $55 in this configuration. The Civivi Ortis, which has a way slicier blade. I mean, the slicing power, or slicing ability, I should say, on the Ortis far exceeds the edge on here. And frankly, the factory edge on the Civivi is much nicer. In addition, you know, this is going to be, you know, not drop shut, but it's going to be on bearings, so it's going to be a lot nicer of an action on this. This one's on bearings as well. You know, very nice action on this. Same here. So you're going to get sort of much nicer builds all around, still from a Chinese company. You know, it's not like again, these are all China-made knives. So it's not like, you know, the Spyderco, just because it's has a facility in the USA, it's not like they're made in the USA. Each one of these knives, other than Tenacious, is a better knife, objectively a better knife, and most of these are cheaper than the Tenacious. This just does not fit in today's market. It just doesn't. And you know, you guys can fight me on that, but I can give you, you know, at least 15 more examples of knives that I would rather have over the Tenacious at that price point, possibly more, right? And so that's really what bothers me about the Tenacious at this point. And I just don't see Spyderco. I see them resting on their laurels. I don't like to see companies resting on their laurels, you know, with designs like this. You know, push the boundaries. If you're doing CQI, change the steel out. You know, you did BD1N on the on some of the lightweight models. Maybe see about changing this to BD1N or something like that, or BD1, even if you don't want to do BD1N, right? So see about maybe moving manufacturing of this to Seki City and using VG10, or import VG10 from Japan. However you want to do it, you know. I know they're trying to keep the price point down, but the way this is currently constructed, I just do not like it. I hate to rag on it so much, but especially because it is an iconic knife. And yes, it is an iconic knife. I recognize that. And honestly, this was at one point, a really, really good deal. But it's not anymore, especially over the last 2-3 years. The market's really changed. I mean, $20 more and you can get 20 CV, you know, in some models from Kershaw, or you can get S35 VN from Civivi. It's really a shame where this is at in the market. Now, what do I recommend getting instead of this if you really want a Spyderco? I mean, honestly, with the price difference between this and a lot of the other Spyderco knives that are just nicer knives, is less than a tank of gas. So you're talking about, you know, your Spyderco Delica, your Endura, you're talking about your Para 3 lightweight, which I recommend over both of those. The Para 3, I recommend over the Para 3 lightweight. The Para 3, you're getting over $100 at that point. But frankly, you know, if all you can afford is the $50, I would say go with one of these knives. Don't go with a Spyderco. Save your money and get a Spyderco that is a really good Spyderco that you're going to be really happy with. You know, if you save up for that Para 3, you're going to be really happy with the Para 3. So that's sort of my rant for today. And is this a bad knife? No, it's not a bad knife, but it's just, it doesn't stand up to where it is in the market, and it's not even close. That's really my issue with it. Sorry if I rambled on a little bit, guys, but I appreciate you sticking with me. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did agree with what I was saying, and hit the subscription button and notification bell if you like more videos like this. Thank you.